Hey guys!
So we're making a video telling you guys our story as a couple.
Yes. So I found a couple questions online to help us guide us through this video, and so we can like just answer the questions while telling you guys our story. So yeah, we can just jump in.
Yep.
Okay.
You ask first.
Okay. How and when did you meet?
So we met in college about 4 years ago. You were a freshman and I was a senior. We were both a part of this college ministry on campus at George Mason University in Virginia. And but because I was a freshman and she was no, I was a senior. I was a senior. You were a freshman.
Yeah.
You were a little freshman. And I knew I was moving out to Los Angeles, or California in general, after I graduated. I took notice of her, but I didn't really pursue anything.
I did too.
I didn't really pursue anything because I knew I was going to leave Virginia anyways, and I wasn't really looking for anything long distance.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. And then you graduated last winter,
so
over a year ago, and then you came out to LA for YWAM.
So I did a program called Youth with a Mission, where I like studied here in California, and then I went on a long mission trip, and I went to Kenya and Philippines.
Yeah.
So a couple months before I graduated and came to California, Brendan found out that I was coming here, and so he reached out. We started to talk and get to know each other a little bit more on a personal level, I guess. And then he came to Virginia for Christmas, and I was in DC with my parents right after I graduated, and so we went on our first date, and that was just to see if we like each other, if we have chemistry, because we had been talking for a couple months prior to that.
Yeah.
And then when I flew to California a couple weeks after, he picked me up from the airport and asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes. We started dating, and yeah, we started dating.
The rest is history.
The rest is history, which you're about to find out.
True.
How long have you been together?
Okay, well there we go. So yeah, we've been dating since January 7th, 2018. So over a year now we've been together. And then we were dating for 3 months, and then she went on her missions trip for 2 months to Kenya and Philippines. And that's when I got the ring, and I proposed.
He knew.
I knew, and then I proposed to you a month after you got back, July 14th.
Yeah.
So we were dating for about 6 months.
Yeah. And when I was on the mission trip, I wrote to him every day. He wrote to me a couple times a week. And so we, like, even though we were long distance, we still kept a really good in touch. And I think we also realized that we wanted to be with each other forever. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
When did you know that I was the one?
That's good. I think for me, I was hoping that the next guy I date, that like I was hoping that he would be the one, and I remember praying about it. And a couple months, so when we started to talk, I knew that he was someone very special. And then when we started to date, about 2 weeks into a relationship, I remember writing in my journal that, God, I think he's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The reason it went fast, I think, that I was comfortable just like dating her the moment she came out to LA was like, yeah, we had been talking, but like I knew your character from people that I trusted, and you knew my character from people that you trusted. Yeah,
because we went to the same college and we were part of the same ministry.
Yeah.
A lot of our friends were the same, a lot of leaders were the same, and so they all supported even the idea of our relationship. And that made it safe space for me to kind of trust that, like, because when we started to date, or even when we started to talk, I wasn't finding out his character. I was just finding out if we like each other and if we have chemistry, really.
Yeah, it definitely was like, okay, like when we started dating, it's like, all right, I know she's awesome. Like, what's our chemistry?
Yeah, so it was just as simple as that.
Yeah.
When did we get married? We were engaged for 4 months before our wedding day, which was November 18th, 2018. 4 months was just enough time to get everything together and and not like doubt myself or keep changing the different decisions. It was like, I like this, done. I like this, done. And then, yeah, so, and I was just a full-time planner. I kind of planned most of the wedding myself.
Yeah.
And I mean, I loved it, but I definitely would not make it longer.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it shorter either.
Yeah.
But I think that was a perfect amount of time.
It's crazy because you were like planning a wedding in Virginia from LA, and you didn't have a wedding planner or anything. You planned every detail yourself, and you had people in Virginia that were definitely helping you.
Yeah.
But that was really cool to see that, and just like your commitment to that, and it was definitely stressful for you at times.
Absolutely.
When things fell through or didn't work out, but like, yeah, I mean, 4 months seemed like the perfect amount of time.
I agree. What's your favorite thing about each other?
I can start with that one.
Okay.
My favorite thing about you, first and foremost, your relationship with the Lord, your love for Him, and for other people, for children, definitely. Just seeing your love for like, other people's kids excites me to see like how much you're really gonna love your own kids. Like, that's really cool. And yeah, I definitely like your servant's heart and your love even for strangers. I think you love strangers well, like people you don't even know. And spiritual stuff aside, like I love just like how you do have like a fun and goofy side and kind of a wild side, and I feel like a lot of people don't get to see that. But that's what really attracted me to you.
So I guess for me, I would say just how much you love the Lord, and just how kind and how serving you are just towards other people. What's your favorite thing to do together?
You want to say it together?
Do we know it? Okay, we could try.
Yeah, okay, I think we can do this.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Watch Law and Order
together.
Yeah, so we've been married for a little bit over 2 months, and we've been watching a lot of Law and Order. I enjoy watching it, but even more so, I enjoy talking about it. So like every case that comes on, we usually talk about like, who do we think you know, is the victim, or who do we think is
who's guilty,
or
like what will the verdict be, or
yeah,
will the person get away with it,
and like, do we agree, do we don't, why don't we agree?
Yeah, or even like cases where it's like, what's the ethical decision here?
Yeah, and like what's like according to the law.
Yeah, where it's like the law doesn't like cover everything, every ethical decision. It's like, ooh, like what would we do in that situation? Or like, should this person go to jail? And like, it just sparks like really good conversation.
Yeah,
like,
I think we both like exploring new things, eating new things, just trying new things in general.
Yeah, and like, LA is like perfect for that. There's so many things to do in LA.
Do you have any nicknames for each other? If so, what are they?
Oh.
Ooh.
Honey Boo.
Honey Boo. I call him Honey a lot. Honey. Or if he's in trouble, Honey, honey.
Honey, 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 honey. Honey, 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 honey.
Just kidding.
Honey,
well, I'm not kidding.
You have one honey.
That's what he usually says to me. Love.
Yeah.
Or I like to call you Love of My Life.
Love of My Life. It's a cute one.
Yeah, I call him, in Ukrainian, I call him Kohani. Meaning, like, it's just like an endearing word to call your husband. Okay, yeah, what about yours?
I think I call you a lot of the same things. I call you Kohana.
Which is a female version of that?
Yeah, yeah. You also like to call me you. When I'm in trouble, she says you.
The last question is, show the earliest photograph you have together.
Oh, yeah.
So two pictures come in mind.
Yeah, what's the first one?
The first one is it was actually not 4 years, it was like 5 years ago when we first met. So after college, so after that year, when I was a freshman, he was a senior, we both went to the same camp with our Christian ministry. that we were a part of, and we have a group picture where both you and I are in it.
Yeah.
But at that time we didn't really talk. We knew each other and we knew who each other was, and we definitely had a couple of conversations, but none of it was intentional.
Yeah.
It was just like,
I mean, you could see by the picture there's nothing in between us, because we're not even like acknowledging each other. We're with with our friends, you know.
Yeah. And then the next earliest picture we have is when he flew from California to Virginia for Christmas, and I just have graduated it. And so we met up for we met up for a coffee, and that was our first date. And it was right before I flew into California and we started dating.
Yeah, I was home for Christmas in Virginia, and she was already in DC with her parents. And then so I was like, hey, let's meet in DC and go on a date. And so we did. Going out for tea turned into like a 4-hour date where I met her parents and her sister and her uncle, and we all went on a tour in Washington, and it was really good. And like we have a picture of us two, and we also have like a picture of me and her whole family that was there that day too.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I think her family knew that I was the one that day.
Well, this is it for our story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.